I think that it's probably the best, it's been the best delivery time for me from 2013 when I was the Minister for Foreign Affairs, where I was given all the support, all the facilitation that I needed to be able to put policies in place, to be able to guide the ministry from where it was at to where I left it. And then I went to the Ministry of Education, and there too I had the support, the free hand, the guidance, the direction to do what was really required, which was put in place the policy for CBC and start drafting the legal instruments for it, but also come up with a training program for teachers. So extremely rewarding. I don't think that I could have had a better leader. I could have had better direction. I could have had better support, better facilitation, and overall, just a very representative, unifying figure as president of the country. So extremely delighted to have served. Very grateful, very humbled, and I'm really grateful to His Excellency and grateful to the Almighty God for having given me this opportunity. Well, I think carrying out the president's directives, including what was in the manifesto, the WRC bringing it back to the country, building the stadia across the country that we've been able to build, ensuring that our athletes, our best ambassadors, our best representatives outside the country are well catered for, putting them at the center of everything that we do, making sure that we don't have athletes sleeping at the airports, having athletes blocking the streets of Nairobi because they've not been facilitated or they haven't been supported. Basically ensuring that the sports fund that His Excellency the President set up was used for the intentions that it was established for. Put the athlete at the center of everything, at the core of everything that we did. You saw what happened with the Olympics, best African country, 19th overall. The next African country was like miles behind us. Just recently, the Deaf Olympics, we are preparing for the Commonwealth, we are preparing for the World Athletics. Here at home, we've hosted more events, sports events than we've ever hosted, I think, in the history of our country. Beginning with the World Under-20 to the continental tour that we brought to the country, the only African country that has a continental tour. And I think for me the highlight was the marathon on the expressway that His Excellency the President has built for our country, one of the biggest legacies. And last night was totally amazing. It was just phenomenal that we were able to see our heritage site turned into a world-renowned site that everybody, I think, across the world would want to come and visit, achieving the vision that, again, His Excellency had for our country. So all in all, I think a very satisfying period for me. The last 2.5 years have just been out of this world.
It's been a great 4.5 years. I think this is my 5th year I'm starting. It's been a tough journey, I must say, because when we got into government in 2018, the president was in his 2nd term, and he was just in the process of executing his land reform agenda, which started in 2013, as you know. In the 1st term, the focus was on national titling, which was basically to increase the number of Kenyans who have title to land. Between 1963, when we got independence, and 2013, we had recorded 6 million titles. So the president's intentions was to increase this number, and I'm happy to report that so far we have 5.6 million of Kenyans, additional Kenyans with title. If you compare, you can see that it's almost matching in just 9 years what was done in 50 years, or more than 50 years actually, because that was even pre-independence. So that was the focus of the 1st term. In the 2nd term, His Excellency the President wanted to continue the national titling program, so we continued with it. But he also wanted to secure these gains. Why do I say secure these gains? If you're a Kenyan and you own land, you know the challenges in our sector. So the president wanted to make sure that once you have title to land, your ownership is guaranteed. And the challenge we've had is manual record, building up for almost 60 years now. And so what the president asked us to do in the 2nd term is to digitalize Ministry of Lands. There had been many previous attempts at this with different layers of success or different levels of success. But between 2013 and now, 2022, as we exit government, I'm happy to report that this is the first successful attempt at digitalization of land records. Why do I say this? Previously, we had just digitized the end process of documentation of rights to land. That is the registration process. But under His Excellency the President's guidance, we've digitalized everything actually in the Ministry of Lands, beginning from all the departments of lands, Survey of Kenya, physical planning, all the processes that you require to guarantee your right. So they're on an integrated platform now, the National Land Information Management System. We commonly call it Ardhi Sasa. It is live in Nairobi now. We had hoped that we will scale this up to the countryside, but when we started the process, we realized that the layers and layers of fraud and complications of the sector were such that we needed time to unpack and understand the problem. So Nairobi is now live. We hope to fully stabilize it by the time of the transition in August. So we hope that the next administration will continue with this noble goal, which is to digitize the rest of the 46 counties, because we've done Nairobi. It was a pilot county, it's been successful. It has brought to the fore a lot of things that you would otherwise not have known had we not digitized. Now we are able to secure our public lands. One of the things the President tasked us to do is to identify all the public lands as we digitalize and then secure them. So in Nairobi, we have about 2,500 documented public lands. It's an ongoing process, it's work in progress. We continue to document as we come across these public lands. They are now secured. Once it's on the platform, the National Land Information Management System, it is not possible to interfere with it anymore. I think you know the Kenyan palace, land grabbing. It's not possible now in Nairobi to grab public land because we've secured it. We hope that this will be scaled to the rest of the country so that all our public assets are secured for posterity for our children and our children's children. The other thing that the President tasked us to do, which we've done successfully, is to align all the laws in our sector with the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Remember, devolution is new. The Constitution came in force in 2010. There are many things which were previously not in the old Constitution, which are now in our current Constitution, such as land use planning. In the previous Constitution, it was a role of the national government. Now it is a devolved function. It means we have to work with our county governments. So we had to change the law. So in 2019, the Physical Planning and Land Use Act came into force. The regulations have just gone through Parliament. We are just hoping to pass it through Senate now. Then the law will be fully in force. It means our counties can now fully enjoy the benefits of a devolved land use planning system. The other law that we successfully brought into the fore in 2020 is the Sectional Properties Act of 2020. This act is aimed at securing title to apartments. You know that many Kenyans, middle class especially, cannot afford land, but they can buy an apartment. Previously, it was not possible to have a title to an apartment. Now we can have a title to an apartment. So these are some of the laws we've done. We've done many laws to make sure that what we are doing is ingrained in the law. So these are some of the things that we did over the last 4.5 years or so, which we hope the next administration will continue. And lastly, we have started the process of decentralizing. We want to take all our land records to their home counties so that Kenyans don't have to come to Nairobi to enjoy services of our ministry.
And I'm very proud and privileged to have been in this government, having been there from day one and until now. It's been years of transformation, those 9 years. And I'm very excited that I've served in this government. Very briefly, for roads, the President promised 10,000 kilometers of roads. As of now, before he leaves office, we have 12,000 kilometers of roads. He promised that there will be a standard gauge railway. That was commissioned on 31st May 2017, MADARAKA Express. He promised revamping of the airports. We had the first flight from Nairobi to John F. Kennedy in New York during the tenure of the President Uhuru Kenyatta. So it is critical that we appreciate these key milestones, which are historic in nature. Well, it's a matter of consolidating all the sectors, the subsectors in our ministry, whether it's transport, infrastructure, housing, public works, and shipping and maritime, which is part of the blue economy. So this has made a very big difference because the key thing is to serve the people. Whatever we do has been geared towards making sure that Kenyans benefit, and we have seen the transformation.
Being as as a cabinet secretary in the government of His Excellency UHURU'S Kenyatta has been exciting. I've had the opportunity to see public service transformation in the sense that when you look at the achievement this country has made, we are particularly happy that if you look at the infrastructure, if you look at education, if you look at health, if you look at inclusion in this country, public servants have been the center. They have been the center in the sense that they are the one who develop policies, they implement them, and that's what has made the government of Uhuru Kenyatta realize such achievement. Let me also say that my other experience, since the administration of Uhuru Kenyatta, we have had in the last 5 years reduction of strikes to the extent of almost 90% of the strikes. We only have a few from Ministry of Health and the county government because on devolution. We have also been able to transform National Youth Service, which was our department in the Ministry of Public Service, but now is a full-fledged state-owned enterprise that is supporting government in areas of infrastructure, ground control, security, and supporting our military and police. Therefore, we have really been in that particular, this cabinet, we have seen a lot of achievement because of his leadership of His Excellency the President, who have been very supportive.
And we were able to roll out under the leadership of His Excellency the President, and I want to thank him and his Deputy William Ruto for all that support that they gave us at the beginning, and His Excellency guided. And in the Ministry of Water, we were able to increase the water coverage in our country from 43% to 51%. And we were able to approach support and donors who gave us funds to roll out county water projects and sanitation. It is my time that we were able to bring out sanitation in this country as a critical intervention in our cities because of our rural and our devolution and urbanization of our county towns. And we have rolled out sanitation. Irrigation also we were able to expand. That is the first 2 years. And I'm happy that water is level and coverage in Kenya increased. Now, in the Ministry of Labor, I joined in 2020, and in that docket, we deal with the industrial peace, harmony. We look at skills and reskilling of our people, and we have been able to see enrollment of young people who have missed out in colleges to join tertiary institutions like National Industrial Training Authority. We were also able to prioritize health and safety at workplaces. It is during this